So looking on to the Ramayana, what does the Ramayana say about this? Because we remember all the modern translators like Goldman at Berkeley, who did a translation and all. They call it epic hyperbole. But there's a beautiful expression, and this came about when, if you're familiar with the story, in the fifth chapter, the Sundarakanda, what happened in this story, just in case you're not familiar with it, is Ram was the great son of King Dasharatha. He was meant to take over the throne. He was exiled into the forest, some palace intrigue. Some wife of Dasharatha wanted her son to take over the throne. So Ram said, fine, I'm going to the forest. His wife Sita insisted that he take her. His brother Lakshman went with him. And the three went out off into the forest in exile, visited rishis, traveled around, and all of that. And then the evil Rakshasa Ravana. Ravana was the great, huge, evil Rakshasa. And he decided that the way to get rid of Ram, because he heard how great he was to abduct his wife and steal her away and take her to his kingdom in Lanka, the island of Lanka off the southern coast of India. And so Ram was very upset, and he went looking for her, and he encountered a race of beings. They're called Vanara. And Vanara, they're like monkey-like. They're always in translations, they're described as monkeys, but that doesn't really do justice to them. I think it's better to think of them as Vanara, and they had characteristics that are monkey-like. And there was one great Vanara who was named Hanuman. And Hanuman is said to be an incarnation of Shiva. He's the great model of devotion, the great model of a great warrior who can do anything and accomplish anything and all. And he leapt from India he flew through the air. We'll talk about it later, but the evidence is very clear in the Sanskrit that he practiced sanyama. He practiced yogic flying. He went through the air and he landed in Lanka, and he found Sita in an Ashok grove as a captive. And she didn't know who he was, and she didn't necessarily know if she should trust him. So he said he was a messenger from Ram, and she asked Hanuman, describe Ram. What's he like? That'll tell me whether you're for real or not. And he said many beautiful things about him, but one of them was this verse that's on the screen. And he said, O radiant woman, Ram is the creator and the instigator of the boundaries of the world. This has befuddled translators. What does it mean to be the creator and the instigator? But I think it's very simple. In Vedic philosophy, there are two types of causation. There's a lot of discussion in Nyaya and in Vedanta about what causes what. And there's two kinds called nimitta and upadana. And one is the efficient cause and one is the material cause. And the example that's used by Shankara throughout his commentaries on the Brahma Sutras and the Upanishads is if you look at a potter, there are two things that create a pot. There's the clay, the material cause, and there's the potter. And the potter is I think it's the efficient cause. And these are the two types of causes. And in Nyaya, they distinguish between the two. And in Vedanta, Shankara's point is, and the Vedanta Sutras bring this out very clearly, is that both causes are Brahman. Brahman is the only cause. Brahman is the potter, Brahman is the clay. Brahman is the method that the potter uses to shape the clay into the pot. Brahman is everything. Everything is Brahman. And so it seems as though when Hanuman calls Ram both the creator and the instigator, the words are karta and karyata, that is the efficient and material cause. And he's both, because Brahman is both. And so in effect, he is saying Ram is Brahm.